Hello and welcome, fellas. So, today this section is all about the basics of ECG. So, let's understand what is ECG. So, how do you come to know that your heart is functioning properly? You'll reach out to a cardiologist. Usually, the cardiologist will suggest a test known as ECG, which stands for electrocardiography. Now, what is there in this electrocardiography? So, here's a fact. Our heart produces various electrical signals or electrical impulses while it undergoes certain repolarization and depolarization cycles. Our heart functions in various cycles known as cardiac cycles, and during these cycles, the muscles of the heart or the myocytes they undergo repolarization and depolarization. These cycles are repeated on and on. So this depolarization and repolarization is in the form of an electrical impulse known as the cardiac impulse, which travels across the auricles and the ventricles. So we have a technique that records these electrical impulses onto a graph sheet. So this technique of recording the electrical impulses or the electrical signals produced during a cardiac cycle onto a graph sheet is known as electrocardiography. To record an electrocardiogram, we use a device known as the electrocardiograph. Yes, the device is called electrocardiograph. This device usually has various electrodes, and the function of these electrodes is to pick up those weak electrical signals and then plot them onto a graph sheet. As we can see here, there's a device kept alongside this person, and this device is connected to the chest of this person through various electrodes. These electrodes are going to pick up those weak impulses or the electrical impulses or the cardiac impulses produced during the cardiac cycle. While the heart functions, those impulses will be produced and those weak signals will be picked up by these electrodes, and further this device is going to plot them onto a graph sheet. The graph sheet that we receive in the form of an ECG report is known as the electrocardiogram. So the graphical representation of electrical changes in the heart that occur during the cardiac cycle is called electrocardiogram. The ECG report is known as the electrocardiogram, the device is known as the electrocardiograph, and the technique is known as electrocardiography. These three terminologies must be clear. Here I have isolated the 6 waves which represent one cardiac cycle. These 6 waves are P wave, Q wave, R wave, S wave, T wave, and U wave. The green line shown over here represents the isoelectric line, otherwise which is absent in a real ECG. P wave, R wave, T wave, and U wave, these are present above the isoelectric line, while the Q wave and the S wave are present below the isoelectric line. So we can see here the first wave is the P wave. Then we have a short PR segment which connects the P wave to the QRS complex. The Q wave, then we have a sharp large R wave, then we have a short S wave. These all 3 waves are combined and called as QRS complex. Q wave, R wave, and S wave. These 3 waves are together known as a QRS complex. This QRS complex is further connected to an ST segment. So this is the ST segment. Following the ST segment, we have a T wave, and then following the T wave, we have a short U wave. Here we need to understand a concept of intervals. Usually an interval is a combination of a wave and a segment. So you can see the PR interval over here. PR interval is a combination of P wave along with PR segment. Then we have the QRS interval, which is represented by the QRS wave itself, or the QRS complex represents the QRS interval. Following the QRS interval is the ST interval. ST interval is a combination of ST segment along with the T wave. So ST segment plus T wave forms the ST interval. Last is the QT interval, which is a combination of the QRS complex. The QT interval is a combination of the QRS complex, the ST segment, and the T wave. So now it's clear that one cardiac cycle would be represented by 6 waves. Those 6 waves will be P wave, Q wave, R wave and S waves. These are three waves and together known as a QRS complex. Then we have a T wave and the U wave. So these are the six waves P, QRS, T and U wave which will represent one cardiac cycle. Let's understand what do these waves on an ECG represent. First of all, we have the P wave. This P wave represents the atrial depolarization. SA node, which is also known as the pacemaker of the heart, produces a cardiac impulse, which is basically a wave of depolarization, and this cardiac impulse sweeps across the entire auricles. So, during the depolarization of the myocytes present in the walls of the auricles, a positive P wave is produced. Following the P wave is a short segment known as the PR segment. This PR segment represents the delay caused between the depolarization of the SA node and the AV node. The wave, it takes quite a few milliseconds for traveling and reaching till the AV node. Therefore, AV node is depolarized after a few milliseconds. The SA node produces a cardiac impulse. This delay in the depolarization of the AV node is represented by the PR segment, and this delay ensures that the depolarization of the ventricles occurs only after the auricles have already been depolarized. This PR segment and the delay caused ensure that the auricles contract prior to the contraction of the ventricles. The P wave and the PR segment altogether represent the atrial systole. That is, while this P wave is being formed and the PR segment is being formed, during this the auricles undergo contraction or systolic phase. So by now it must be clear that the P wave represents the depolarization of the auricles and the PR segment represents the delay between the SA node and the AV node. While during the P wave and the PR segment, the auricles are getting contracted, that is P wave and PR segment together will represent the atrial systole. Following the P wave and the PR segment is the QRS complex. Now the QRS complex has three waves. First of all, we have a short Q wave which represents the depolarization of the ventricular septum. That is, the septum present between the right and the left ventricle, it has bundle of His. The depolarization of the myocytes present in the ventricular septum or the depolarization of the bundle of His is represented by this Q wave. The Q wave is followed by a sharp and large R wave which represents the depolarization of the walls of the ventricles. And at last, of the QRS complex, we have an S wave which represents the depolarization of the myocytes present at the ends of the Purkinje fibers. Therefore, the QRS complex altogether will represent the depolarization of the ventricles. Again, Q wave represents the depolarization of the ventricular septum, that is the wall between both the ventricles. R wave represents the depolarization of the walls of the ventricles, and the S wave represents the depolarization of the myocytes at the end of the ventricles. The S wave therefore represents the end of the depolarization of the ventricles. Following the QRS complex, we have an ST segment. Now this ST segment only represents ventricular systole. That is, during this ST segment, we can see that the ventricles are getting contracted. This also proves that the ventricular systole lags behind the ventricular depolarization. That is, first the ventricles get depolarized and then this depolarization is followed by ventricular systole. So ST segment is basically a proof of the lag between the ventricular systole and the ventricular depolarization. First the depolarization occurs and then the ventricles start contracting. So this QRS complex and ST segment together will represent ventricular systole, while the QRS complex will represent only ventricular depolarization and ST segment will represent only ventricular systole. That is, during the QRS complex being formed, these waves are representing the ventricular depolarization. So together, QRS complex and ST segment combined will represent entire ventricular systole, that is the contraction of ventricles. The contraction of ventricles begins in the starting of the Q wave and will end by the end of the ST wave. This is the concept you need to understand. Following the ST segment, we have a T wave. This T wave will represent the repolarization of the ventricles. During the T wave, the ventricles get repolarized. The T wave is followed by a very small U wave. The T wave represents the repolarization of the ventricular walls, while the U wave represents the depolarization of the Purkinje fibers of the nodal tissue. U wave is usually very small, and the magnitude of this U wave is usually less than 25% of the magnitude of T wave. That is, U wave will be even shorter than the 1/4 the height of the T wave. The T wave and the U wave together will represent joint diastole. That is, while the T wave is being formed and the U wave is being formed, both auricles and ventricles would be seen relaxing. That is, joint diastole will be represented with T and U wave combined. After the U wave has ended, another P wave will begin. That is, a new cardiac cycle begins. Again, P wave, QRS complex, T wave and another U wave will be formed. So here it is clear that we have 6 waves which represent the entire cardiac cycle. In the upcoming lecture, we shall discuss about why a few waves are formed above the isoelectric line and why a few waves are formed below the isoelectric line. This concept shall soon be dealt with. Thanks for watching and please forget not to subscribe.